My name is pyuppy, and today I'm here with a create a sim video. And typically I don't do create a sim videos, and I thought to myself, hey, I have a Sims 4 YouTube channel sitting here that I'm not doing anything with, and I'm playing The Sims 4, let's go record it. So now we're here. At first, I was going to make this video about same face syndrome and how to kind of combat that and have more diversity in your game, but then I kind of looked at my Sims and I was like, I kind of do the same thing. Like, anyone could nitpick my Sims and say, oh, you do these similar things with all of them, and I think that's for everyone because everyone has their own Sim style. So I'm not going to be doing that today because I don't want to expose myself for having same face syndrome, because I probably do. But I did want to make a video about how I make my maxis match Sims, since I am a maxis match simmer, and I think that's pretty obvious. But I wanted to make a sim a little bit different than what I usually do. Typically, I make my Sims like minority races, and I always make them a little bit like heavier, a little bit plus size, maybe like mid-size, just because that's just what I like and I think it's cute. But I decided to just do a complete 180 and make a more pale Sim who is a lot thinner. I actually enjoyed it too. So I thought I was being so creative and so different because I'm like, oh, I just made this redhead Sim that's like really into like handiness and fishing and the outdoors, and like they're kind of a tomboy, but then also kind of like androgynous in general, but also kind of feminine. I don't even know what I was going for, but I just made the first outfit and I was like, yes, I know exactly what I want this person to be. But I wanted to give a few tips in this video too, and I think my first tip alongside what's going on in the video is play around with body types, but also try to be more realistic with your body types. The base Sim that I was given for this create a sim had absolutely no waist, under 100 pounds, humongous booty cheeks that don't match her thighs. Like, it was just so weird that that was a base Sim. And like, I was like, okay, but like, who really looks like this? Like, who looks like this without being like augmented in some way, you know? So just remember, give your Sims a waist. You know, don't make them super skinny and no waist, 0 calories, 0. I know it's funny, but that's one way that you can like immediately diversify your Sims in your world, is test out different body types. Like, try like overweight Sims, try more mid-sized Sims, try Sims who have like a wider rib cage, wider waist, you know? Everything doesn't have to be an hourglass figure, and it's okay. And I feel like you're gonna appreciate it in the long run because it's just gonna give more like variables, and it's gonna feel like a lot more realistic in your save file. Oh my god, this chicken hat. I wanted this little fried chicken hat on her head so bad, but it's just made so poorly. I couldn't even find a hair that looked like anywhere near decent with it. Maybe when I learn more about modding, I'm gonna make that chicken hat again, but I'm gonna make it like with a smaller mesh that like fits better on their heads. But I want that chicken hat on her, and in my mind, she still should be wearing that chicken hat. Like, it's meant for that character. But also number 2 is try like different nose types, different lips. Try thinner lips, bigger eyes, smaller eyes, different eye placements. Some eyes are like wider set or like separated, or some are more close together, and try those things. I know it's like kind of hard to get out of that sense because I feel like everyone has like a face that they always make that they're just like really impressed with. They love it. They think it always looks amazing. But try to do thinner lips. Try to do like larger noses. Noses that have a wider frame, or that they kind of like curve at the bridge. I like those a lot too. I did that with this sim too because I noticed that's something that I don't do often. I have the presets to do it, but I don't use them. Also, if you're a mod user, get more presets. Get like so many cast presets. Get as many as you can. Just do it. If you never use it, fine. But like, as long as you keep seeing the options, it's easier to like take a preset that already kind of looks a certain way and kind of keep it that way, instead of just taking EA presets and trying to like manhandle them into something that kind of doesn't exist in the base game. If you're able to, having like a bunch of presets always helps, because like with the nose that I chose for this preset is something that I always look at. Like I know it's there, I just never used it until now, because I looked at it and I was like, oh wow, I haven't used that nose preset before, or at least not that I can remember. Also, another thing is unnatural hair colors. I know I haven't done it with this sim, and I typically don't do it either, but I think that's something that I can benefit from, is sims having unnatural hair colors, especially if they're like teens or adults. Like I feel like it's very realistic to have sims who are going to have their hair dyed, or maybe like have a sim who's a natural brunette, so her eyebrows might be brown, but her bleached hair is like a crazy like light blonde, that type of thing. I think it's really cute to do. And as they age, maybe they become like adults or like, you know, middle-aged, and you start letting them have their natural hair back because they're not keeping up with the bleaching anymore. Like that's something that they don't really participate in or care about, especially when you have adult sims and you feel like they're like reaching more of like middle-aged. I think it's a good time for you to also start using the hair colors that are like mixed in with gray. There is a brown swatch for the hairs, and they have little gray hairs in them. So like they're starting to get gray hairs before they turn into an elder, and I think that is so fun. I love doing that. I love doing that in like all my little Let's Plays and all the sims that I create. I feel like it's just a touch to like kind of see, oh, they're aging and they're on the little older side, because without doing that or like changing their attire from when they were a young adult, it's kind of hard to like decipher who's a young adult and who's not until like, you know, they get older and they start putting on like, you know, wedges or flats, and they start wearing like long skirts and things like that, more loose flowy blouses and that type of material. I feel like is very of mid 30s to like early 50s type of attire, especially after you have kids, is what I think of when I think of people getting older. I'm so thankful and glad that you came to watch my video and you were interested in trying to make a sim that looks similar to mine, because I don't think my sims are all that, but I at least know that some people would like to know. Thank you so much for listening in, and I hope you found some of these tips helpful in making more realistic sims and just more diverse sims for your own gameplay. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.